Hey, Jess and Warvi. First one we're going to do is the Belgian lime crab salad, the Belgian endive with lime crab salad that you asked for. First we have here, this is crab meat. This is 1 pound of lump crab meat. We have red pepper, green pepper, garlic. These are limes, kind of like your calamansi. Black pepper, salt, olive oil, and we're going to do about a half onion. So let's get started. Okay, first we're going to put this, the green pepper and your red pepper in a bowl. I'm going to show you how you can very easily cut that and dice it effectively. You want to take your finger, your middle finger, you want to put it against the blade. I know it's a little bit awkward the first time you do it, but once you practice it, once you do it enough, it's going to be very comfortable for you. What you want to do is slide your knife down in a forward motion, going back and forth, until you get very thin julienne strips. Then you want to go to the other side, turn your pepper, and the same motion on your knife, you want to make the same cut just across. And take your time, you don't have to do this fast, it's not a racing contest, anything like that. This is at your speed. You can get it done according to the fashion that you want. It's the same with our green pepper. And what we're going to do next is we're going to go to a red onion. And I'll show you how to do a red onion for a quick dice, very easily and effectively. Cut your onion in half, you want to leave the root end on. And you'll see why in a minute. When you have the root end attached, it's going to hold all the stuff together, so you can make these cuts going down and inside across on your onion. Keep going up till you reach the top. Then you want to turn your onion this way, and this is going to determine how long your dice is going to be. And don't cut through the back section on that root. Like I said, that's holding all this onion together for you. Now you're going to come across just like we did with the pepper. Make your cuts this way, cross again. It's going to yield you a nice fine dice. And we can put that in our bowl. And that's the hardest part of the crab salad. One more thing, we're going to do 1 clove of garlic. What you can do is just take your garlic, put it on the board, smash it like that. 2 smashes and you're done. It's going to break up all that garlic, so now you have a little bit of a mince. Now we're going to take a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and we're going to take our olive oil. It's about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. We're going to put it inside that mixture. Then we're going to take our limes. I cut 1 lime in half, and we're going to do 1 for you. Just take your lime, you're going to want to cut it right here, but at first what you're going to want to do is roll it. And the reason you roll it is you start to break up all those cells inside of it, and it's going to yield you more juice. See that already? All the juice is starting to come out. Now you can take a fork and shove it right in there, stab it around, and just turn it. And that way you don't have to go to Ayala or SM Cebu and get all those crazy reamers and juicer attachments. This is a really easy way to do it effectively. We can do 1 more. Just got hit in the face. Okay, now we're going to add our crab salad, or our crab rather, and that's going to complete our salad. And what you want to do is toss it in the olive oil mixture, the green pepper, so you get all that combined, and all that's integrated for you. And there's your crab salad. That's all you have to do. You can let it marinate for about 2 hours, and then you can put it on the Belgian endive, which I showed you in the previous pictures that I sent you. And there you go.
Done.
Keep going. And now we're going to move on to the chicken. Okay, a chicken just like a human. You have like your elbow, and then you have the top of your arm. They're 2 separate bones. but they work in unison. And they work in unison through joints, through tendons, through things like that. Well, the chicken isn't much different in that aspect. what you want to do is you want to be able to find those articulations in the bones, so you don't have to make big cuts with like cleavers and then you go through and leave like bone shards where if you bit into it, it could actually like puncture your gum and hurt you. This way you can go just through where the actual the articulation bends, and when you find that, you can go right through. See, you don't have to cut through any bone. You don't have to cut through with any big saws or anything like that. You can go right through quite easily. Can you come over this side? Now we're going to do this once again. We're going to take this down right through here. Switch it again. And see where that goes. See where that bone is? Right there. You can feel right through there. See, I didn't cut through any bone whatsoever. Now, we're going to kind of peel this layer of skin back a little bit. What we want to do is get what would be like our collarbone. And we want to get that wishbone, what in the U.S. what we call a wishbone, which is right here. You want to go right on the outside that you can feel it. It's right there. You want to make a V cut, but like upside down. And then go inside of it. The same way on the other side. And you can feel that bone the entire time. What you want to do is get your finger up inside there and pull that wishbone right out. It's like a V bone that you can feel right there on the inside. I got it all. So it's just like this on the inside of the chicken. And that gets in the way of your carving if you're trying to carve a whole chicken. So you want to remove that anyway. It's always a good idea to do. So now you want to stand the chicken up. And like we talked about earlier with those articulations like that, see, I can feel it right there. I can go right through just that joint, and I can go right through that articulation, as you see. What we're going to do is cut down the backbone, just on the skin. So we cut this articulation through, and now we're going to go to the other side. We're going to feel for that. We're going to go right through it. Now that we did that, we're going to put our finger, our thumb, right through the carcass, by the neck. We're just going to pull down. And you see that little wishbone, or the little oyster, what we call it in the States, right here, that little piece of meat. You want to stop there. Turn the chicken around and go to the other side. Do that same technique. Rip right down. Then you're going to take your two fingers, you're going to act like a claw. Come right through here. In the States, what we call the keel bone is right there. You want to go all the way through that, bring it all the way down, kind of move the meat back up, turn it on its side. And that oyster that we had here, what we're going to do is take our knife, we're going to try to get all that meat from that oyster, come right through, and then we're going to lift the knee bone higher, and we're going to crack it. And that's a ball and socket joint. And you can see I went right through. And you just want to go right through that sinew, turn it over to the other side, do the same thing you did on the previous side. Find that little nugget of meat we call the oyster, lift the knee high, and break it. And once you crack that ball and socket joint through, and go right through, and now you can just pull your carcass right down. And now all you're left with is, in the States, what we call the tender. And there's a little, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's a little piece of sinew you want to kind of go right through. And you can just take your finger, your thumb, it doesn't matter which one, and just peel it right down. You don't even have to use the knife. It'll come right out. And then you do that one more time on the other side. You can peel that straight out. And there you go. Now this is clean. You can use this for stock. You can use this for any kind of application that you want to save it for. You could put it into a stew. You can make a gravy out of it. Now all we have left is these little the little wing bones up here and the leg bones. These are really easy to take out. This is your thigh bone coming down to your drumstick. Just take your knife, go slowly. Again, like I said earlier, it's not a race. And then what you do is take the side of your knife and find yourself a way to hold on to it, and then you want to peel. Just scrape that all the way down on the bone until you hear the bone scraping. Then you're getting all that meat off. Now you're going to find yourself at that joint. We're right here. We're at the knee. And what you want to do is your knife kind of going like this. You want to shave that meat until you get around that articulation. Take as much meat as you can with you. And then you'll start to feel like a piece of like a knuckle. And and that's right here. That's kind of when you feel when you're going down. And then once you get past that, all of a sudden you start to feel bone again. And you can feel the difference on your knife. So when you feel that again, you start going down just like you did on the thigh bone. And go all the way down. And now you can feel that you're right here. You're on the heel. Okay, so go under. Find that where it came out. Put it back into place for a second. We're going to do the same on the other side. Remember, just cut it off till you get a handle. Start to peel. And again, when you're down, use that same cutting technique that we talked about. Just kind of go over and around, over and around. Don't be afraid to use gravity on your side. You can lift this up and the meat will start to sag, so you'll naturally start to see where it starts to separate. Same as the other one. Slip it right back through. And then we're going to take our French knife, our chef's knife, and we're going to take this thigh bone right here, we're going to lift it up on its side. Again, we're going to use gravity as our friend, and then we're going to take a sharp blow, we're going to break it. There you go. There's your bone. One more time. There you go. And now all we have left is these two wing bones in here. We're going to kind of do the same technique as we did for the thigh and the drumstick. We're going to cut around until we get all the way around. And that's all we're going to do for that, because we can do is take our finger and use the pressure from the cutting board and our finger and go right through it. There you go. Just pop that back into place. One more time. Just cut around, all the way around that articulation until it's all free on the very top segment. And take your finger. I didn't get all of it. Let's try it again. Just go straight down. Now what we can do is stuff it. Now, the whole idea of this is to have one complete layer of meat and one complete layer of skin. So you see there's these natural segments here. We can take those tenders that used to be in here, we can put them right here. So again, we kind of have that same layer of skin and meat. Now if you find it's a little bit iffy up here, you can take a little bit of that and fold it over to make it a bit more even in the middle, and you'll never see that after you tie it up. We're going to take a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper on the inside of it. We're going to bring the stuffing over. In the U.S., this is a traditional bread stuffing. This is what we use for Thanksgiving. This happens to be left over from our Thanksgiving here. And what we're going to do is we're going to shove some into the drumstick and some around the thigh. We're going to do it on the other side as well. Shove it in there, not too tough, not too tight rather. And we're going to put some all throughout here. And in French, this is like a type of like a pâté or a roll, what the French would call poulet au saucisse. And this is very traditional, very classical French, and how they would do on a like a carving station, how they would do on a buffet line. You want to fold it over again. Some people like to truss it. There's really not a need to truss it. We'll just fold it over onto the back like that. It's going to start to look like a chicken again. What we're going to do is take this piece of, this is the butcher's twine. This is what I couldn't find when I was with you. This is why I couldn't do what I wanted to do originally. Because we needed twine for that. Oh, hello. We missed it. Gonna go in, get both the legs this time. We're just gonna make a knot. You want to leave this little piece. You want to make sure there's a small piece left. Can you go over there? Face me. What we're going to do in French is called a half hitch. What you want your hand to do is like this. You want almost like a claw with your hand. You're going to take your string up, put your hand like this, go into it, and turn it once. Go under your bird, take your middle finger, and cinch it like this. And the reason you're using that middle finger is like an anchor so you don't pull too tight. If you pull too tight, what you can do is you can make the stuffing leak, which is the last thing you want to do. The stuffing will come out of the bird. Use that middle finger again, like a winch off to the side. Do another half hitch all the way up. Middle finger again. Now, half hitch again. We're going to do one more on the top. Again like this. Hold your hand in, go inside, fold it over once. Again, use that middle finger like an anchor. And now you want to turn your bird over. When you turn the bird over, make sure all that's is kind of inside of itself. And I'm not really worried about the stuffing because it's a drier stuffing. It's not really wet. It's not going to leak all over the place. And what you want to do is just take that same string, wrap it under, wrap it over. Wrap it under, wrap it over. Do it every time, so it's going to be the same movement as you did in the front, just on the back side. And it's going to hold it closed for you, so all your stuffing stays inside when you cook your bird. One more time. And remember when I said that was important that you left that little flap in the front of that knot that we initially made, because that's where we want to finish our tie. Like that. Do a square knot. Bang. Bang. You are done. Now what you can do, take your chicken, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, turn it over, do the same thing. Put a little olive oil on top of it, throw it in your oven, and you are done. It's a poulet en salsa. Thank you. Love you.